Well, we arrive in Alabama. We will see how those folks doing here. As you can see, a pretty decent state by size. But let's go in the numbers. First, Alabama, and this is the flag, clearly white and red, so much more close to the, let's say, Confederate flag. What I'm interested in here is the population. The population is around 5.1 million people, and they have a slightly increased, ranking around 24th in the country from all those 50 states, pretty much in a middle. Median household income, look at this, $62,000 in 2023. By now, probably it's around $70,000. And look at this, by ranking, income ranking, it's around 44 in the country. So pretty bad, I would say. But we will see other states with even worse than this, and they done pretty good. So let's see it. Official language, it's English, and 95% of the population speak English. And I am shocked to see like 3.1% of the population speak Spanish. So what? They don't speak English at all? It's kind of crazy, but we'll see. What I'm interested in, it's how those people actually live there, and how much is the difference between states, which one's doing better, which one is doing worse. So far we see that the worst, in my opinion, that we saw was West Virginia. The best, I don't know exactly which one to pick. There are a few parts that I like from each state. States in New England tend to do pretty well, but I kind of like South Carolina too. We saw some really nice sections there. Even New York as a state doesn't look so bad, to be honest. And they have some interesting things going on there too. Not in the city, but in the state, it's a bit different. Look at this, the population back in 1800s, only 1,250 people living in this land, which is crazy. By the beginning of the 20th century, it was around 1.8 million. The beginning of the 21st century, 4.4 million, and now it's around 5 million, 5.1. As you can see, they have some ups and downs in population. 1980s, they see a pretty huge one. 2000, pretty huge one. Since then, they kind of go down, as you can see. It's gonna be interesting to see how they're doing. Let's check for the white population and blacks and the colors. And watch this. In 2000, 70% of the population was white. In 2000, keep in mind, in 2000, 70% of the population was white. But look at this. In 2020, 63% of the population it's white. So probably by the 2030 is gonna be around, I don't know, 55, something like that. We will see how they're doing. Probably, no, maybe 60. So white's going down. Black population, look at this. 25% of the population was black in 2000. And in 2020, it's around 25.6. So slightly decrease in population, but they have a small increase in 2010. So they kind of go down too. So blacks and whites goes down. Native Americans for 0.5% to 0.4.6%. They're going down, but not huge amount. Asians alone, they have 0.7%. Now they have 1.51. So they double the population. Here they seem they're doing pretty well. Pacific Islanders, again, those guys, from 0.02 to 0.05, more than double, but small numbers. So yeah, but they more than double. Other race alone, they say from 0.06 to 0.29%, so they increase too. Mixed race and multiracial from 0.88% to 3.67%, huge increase. And Hispanic and Latino from 1.7% to 5.2%. So yeah, even here they're not in a way safe. They're taking over. Those Asians, mixed race, and Hispanic Latino, they taking over all over the US. Genuinely. By now, probably you're gonna see some small differences between 2000 and today. But I'm gonna bet by 2050, those two, mixed race and Hispanic, especially Hispanics and Asians together, they are gonna be more than a black population and probably equal with the whites all over the country, which is, yeah, definitely a huge change in demographics there. But we will see how they would react to that. What else can we find here? Some nice churches each and there. Economy, yeah, it's an American state. It's not gonna do that bad, but yeah, judging by the other states, we have some. I would say that's median income. That doesn't seem to do pretty well, but they have pretty nice headquarters here. Pretty big company like Mercedes. They have probably the US one. Airbus, pretty nice too. Tourism doing pretty well, although I don't like those. I mean, look at how horrible it looks on the beach. Have those huge hotels one. It just makes no sense whatsoever, and they're way too close too. So I'm not a big fan of those. Law and government. What I'm not interested in those countries. I mean, look at this. This is the governor. This is the head of the state, pretty much. The state of Alabama, governor of Alabama, and it's K.E.V. Look at the problem. 81 years old, for God's sake. Who the fuck trusts an 81 years old with anything? And you trust them to run the state? That's insane. There should be a limit on those who wants to go in an office to have any sort of the power. In my opinion, it should be like 60. If you have like 4-year term, you're not allowed to candidate if you are like 57. You have to be like the most 50, 56, and you exactly when you turn 60, in the same day, you leave the office, and you cannot run for the office if you don't make sure that you can actually have a full term. So that's insane. How the fuck this happened? Like 80, what? I don't trust an 80 years old with nothing, and they choose to run the state. The people vote for that. It's insane. That just tells you everything you know about those people. It's insane. Should be a minimum age requirement, like 35 or 40 even, something like that. Probably 40 is more safe, and the upper limit of 60. That's how it's supposed to be. Like 20 years of just politics with power. It's insane that they allow something like this to happen. I mean, like, I don't trust those guys 80 years old with nothing. Just I don't think they have like they're senile. I don't think they just at 8 years old. There is no way. There is no way they can actually do anything there. I don't know. This is the senator, 2017, and now how it's 71. I don't trust this guy either. I don't trust with nothing. 70 years old. I don't trust you with nothing, buddy. Just go retirement. Just go enjoy your life. That's it. I don't know. It's kind of insane how it's kind of easy accept this one, like having like a entire retirement house in politics, but I don't know. I guess it's a dark page in history. Yeah, sports are doing pretty well. I mean, like every state in America, when you can about sports, I don't know, maybe they make a huge amount of money. It doesn't matter which sport it is because every single one of them they seem to do pretty well. And keep in mind, it's like 5 million people. We have countries in Europe that have around that population, and they don't do it that well when you compare to the state. Yeah, they have some federal budget, 100%. They receive money from the federal level, let's call it like that. But it's a way different system than they have here in Europe, and clearly it works better, I would say, in the US than we have that European Union that tries to kind of compete in the same way, but it's not even close. They just pretty much destroys everything. Let's see how they're doing. Let's see how those folks doing here in Alabama. Yeah, in the prison system, I heard that they still using slavery there, more or less. I mean, they have like they don't allow people to just, even though they're not a threat anymore for the society, let's call it that, though they have another stupid rules, they are not allow them. They just go in those commissions that for the parole or whatever they call it to just pretty much go home early. And they say, no, it's a danger to society or something like that. And that's what I heard and see in documentary, and kind of checks out. But then they use them as a slave labor, and they just I don't know, they just put them like cut the grass or working in those environment with the regular population, let's say, alongside, not that much supervision, and because they have like a cheap labor, you know, so they're using their cheap labors to fulfill their needs, let's call it like that. And they just keep them there in a prison because they have like they use it as a cheap labor. That's insane in my opinion, and it should be a federal intervention there for sure. But I don't know, we're living in this weird age, let's say, like especially in America, they enjoy to see people go into prison for whatever reason. It's insane, but it is what it is. And then they treat them for the rest of their lives like convicts, pretty much. which is another insane fact. But who knows? Maybe gonna change with time. We will see. Here is clearly a more rich area for sure. Here in this list, February 2025. Although, yeah, privacy not a huge here, but let's check the August how it looks. Yeah, not that much privacy, but it looks very nice. Huge difference between winter, although it's Alabama, so we don't have that harsh winters here, and how nice it looks in the summer. Looks pretty good. Although again, the same problem with the privacy, not that much. Although houses look pretty good, the distance between them is pretty decent. Yeah, this should be like the minimum distance allowed, but with more trees, so you don't have like privacy issues, I would say. They installed those windows very well. I see they're using those tapes here, which is pretty good. Although it's on with the wood frame, they're using timber here for building their house. Not a huge deal, but it's nice to see them that they're actually doing with those nice new techniques that's gonna save in power bills and also increase the comfort. Pretty good. Yeah, here the same problem like I see. Privacy, and this is a rich area for sure. It's kind of a weak point. Roads looks pretty good. This guy is doing better here, 100% sure. I mean, look at this. But even in the summer, they need a bit lower trees here, lower bushes or something to actually cover the house to make it more private. But it's much better than others, as we can see. They have a lake there. Ooh, that's pretty nice. I mean, yeah. Probably a land here is not gonna be that cheap compared with something that it's not that close, let's say, to the lake. It's another landlocked state, so we're gonna see they have an opening to the American Gulf. We'll see how they're doing there. Here, that's a pretty nice land size. They have pretty nice houses. Again, with those RVs, doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make even not that much sense for the US either. They have a bunch of a bunch of motels on the roads. If you don't have that wild experience, like I said, just buy a cheap tent, go there, live for like a night or maybe two. I don't think you can last much longer. And yeah, that's gonna be enough, trust me. Otherwise, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Those expensive to run, expensive to buy. They just no, not a good idea, I would say. Here in the north of Alabama, I have to say, it doesn't look so bad, although we see kind of a rich area. So, I'm sure when you're going like here, for example, let's see how those folks doing. Overall, yeah, they have pretty decent areas. Here we can see a much more lower income area, and immediately you see that by, first of all, the cables. The road's still looking pretty good, but the land is much smaller, much closer to the neighbor. The yards don't look so well, and this is what? February 2024. We have one in March, but yeah, not a huge difference. In 2014, not that huge difference even here in the income. Probably they didn't change that much for those guys. A lot of crap here in the yards. Yeah, clearly a low income area for sure. Doesn't look so great compared with what we see so far. But still, way better than other parts of the world, for sure. Although in the car department, they seem to do pretty well, I have to say. They have pretty expensive cars. And again, those RVs or whatever they are, makes no sense to me. This is the HVAC system, probably. Yeah, it doesn't make that much sense to me, I have to say. Those RVs, just pointless. But yeah, housing, even here from above, as you can see, not that appealing. Although the house, I like it at just one level, one floor. I really like that. But look at this, when the judging about, I mean, the house, it's small from the American standards. The yards even smaller. But look at the cars that they have here. I mean, like, they're pretty expensive cars. So again, priorities. Not everyone, but some of them, they're doing much better in a car department than in a house department. I know their cars, especially second-hand cars, are much cheaper in US than we find in Europe, but still, it's pretty interesting. Although the road here looks pretty good. This one not so great, but probably just because there's like one house there. It's a private road most likely, so it doesn't count. Yeah, overall, mm, I don't like it. I don't like it because look at this, how much land they have around them, and it's just kind of jamming everyone together in those small portions. Doesn't make any sense to me, but for whatever reason, they still do it. Here, as you can see, a much more rich area. Have much more space between those houses and land. Have here on the lake, looks pretty good. I like it, but yeah, for sure it's gonna be much more expensive. That is for sale. That's a really good buy. If that's working nice, a golf cart here, it's absolutely great. Yeah, one of those colonial style houses. Let me check this a bit. Yeah, much better. And this is what, January 2024. March, yeah, it's not gonna be much of a difference, but as you can see, even the street view quality improved a bit. Not a huge amount, as we saw from, let's say, from 2007 to 2024. Huge differences. But look at this, from 2014 to 2024, 10 years, still pretty good. Probably like 2034, we're gonna have like, I don't know, definitely a VR experience for sure. Maybe some interactive experience. I don't know. Just control the seasons. They go there in every season and every year. That'll be something. They have every year, every season. They probably, maybe they go even at night. Have like a 3D version or something. VR 3D. I don't know. Could be. Technology just very close from what is there. Maybe even they record the sounds, the natural sounds, clearly not the human made. Be some privacy problem with that for sure. Overall, they're looking pretty good here in the north of on the north of the state when when you go in those pretty nice good areas. Otherwise, yeah, it's pretty basic, let's say. But I'm gonna be honest, I expected much worse from Alabama, but so far they're doing pretty well. And keep in mind, so many houses, as you can see from the satellite images, and sometimes they're jamming more together more than I like to see. But keep in mind, they are for 5 million people, so they're not 5 million houses. They are probably half of that, and it still looks absolutely insane from the satellite. It looks like way more. So that just gives you an idea how much it means, like 1 million houses, 2 million houses, when they say they have a deficit of the housing, and why it's so expensive. So far at least. Now, like I say, I have high hopes in the near future that those prices gonna go down insanely fast, and it's not gonna be a problem. But here on this street, I kind of like. I mean, look at this. This is a nice distance between the houses. This guy has a nice land here. Roads, absolutely great. I don't see any problems here. Probably the only problem that I see is that with the speed limit, probably it's not gonna be definitely way too low. So that's the way that they kind of milk the population for money. They just go with those radars in the areas that they know it's way too low for the traffic, so they're just waiting there to make some money on your back. It's pretty shady tactic, but that should be stopped. That's why I think like they should go with the raising the. This should be a petition, like raising the speed limits everywhere in every single state, especially on the highways. We have modern cars right now; they can handle much higher speeds. And also in those low traffic area, stop this tactic and technique, like just gonna milk people for money. And also on the federal level, you should not stop anyone, especially if they didn't done absolutely anything. There should be like no DUI checks, no bullshit like that. You only stop someone if you have like a really big breach, let's say, of the traffic rules. Otherwise, for those like seat belts, stuff like that, no. That should be like, if they put your seat belts in the car, if you want to use it, fine. If you don't. For the motorcycles, the same. They made helmets. If you want to wear that, fine. If you don't. It shouldn't be a requirement, like that should be, that's how freedom should, like, hey, we give it to you. If you want to use it, fine. If you don't, that's your problem. Look at this, 25 miles an hour speed limit. It is way too low. It should be at least 35, maybe 40, something like that. This is again a low income area, again garbage day. But look at this low income area. Look at those cars. They really like GMC here. They like those. I don't think it's a Denali, but they really like them. And the house is not bad. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's just the land is too small and it's too close to the neighbor. That it's the main problem that I have here. And in September, still they have like some nice. Oh, they vote for Waltz as governor. Walt. Oh no, it's the other one. Oh, is the carbon road that we just check. No, it's not that, but still. Yeah, the same problem. Ooh, that's a nice Harley Davidson here, 100%. I think it's a Harley. I don't think it's a Honda. It's a Harley Davidson, right? That V2 engine. I think they have some problem with the air cooling. I think like kind of cheat the system a bit, and they're using like air cooled and water cooling at the same time, but don't use like those huge radiators, so they kind of trick the buyer. Yeah, speed table. What the fuck is that? Speed table. Oh, this one, a bump speed? It's a table because it's longer. Yeah, I'm not sure about those either. Again, we have like super efficient cars right now, and especially like they just brake by itself. That's a huge relief. They're looking pretty decent here, I would say, but in the same time, yeah, not exactly a great area that want to live. Although could be hugely improved because the land, it's pretty decent size, not exactly jamming everyone together, but like more trees, and replicate what we saw in South Carolina in that super rich area. That wasn't a rich area, that was a super rich area. Yeah, you can look at pretty close to that much easier. Those apartment buildings, just no, it looks like motels in my opinion. It's just no thing. Speed limit's 5 miles, that's for sure. Yeah. They just no. Everyone should live in an individual house with big yards and put all your crap there. There is no way anyone should live in an apartment building. That was a BMW, I think. So yeah, then like I said, in the cars department, they seem to do pretty good. I don't know. They have like different priorities here in US than it should be. I would say here it's a more rich area for sure, judging from the satellite images. And yeah, this is what, August 2022. I mean, road is pretty good, houses very nice too. They have like much not a huge space between them, but I think like even in the back they have a bit more land than the average guy there. Here they have a bit more space on these streets. As you can see, houses pretty nice also. 2014, I don't think we have. Yeah, we don't have a newer one. Oh, this one is newer. It's from December 2025. Again, same problem with the privacy. They don't have that much trees for some reason. I mean, those guys, they have a few here looking pretty good, but they're way too tall. You need to have something on the ground level for privacy, but still pretty good. I mean, not so bad. Clearly a more rich area. I'm not sure exactly how much it's going to be to buy a house there or land to build a house. But yeah, so far they're doing better than the average, let's say, on the state. Let's move on to the more countryside. Can we find something here? Let's see how those farmers, probably they are farmers here, are doing. And yeah, a bit spread around. Again, the roads, pretty good. Nothing to complain. Those fence here looks absolutely horrible, and it's gonna cost a lot of money to put that there. I'm not sure exactly why you might want to do that, but fine. This is what, March 2022. I don't think we have a newer one. No. But it has some huge, no, small problems. This one looks better from 20. The camera was better for sure. I'm not sure. This is probably a junkyard for cars. There is no way there is someone's house and just have that many cars. But yeah, overall, again, look at this. Even the countryside. Oh, that's a nice statue. What is that? A knight? That's pretty good. Again, junkyards here. I'm not sure if you can run a junkyard that easy, or how the fuck is how is working these junkyards. But probably they get some money from the government. I don't know, because they keep their crap there. No, I don't know. Wow, this is happening way too much in this yard. I mean, this one looks also like a junkyard to me. And expensive F-150s here, so they're doing pretty well in car department again. Yeah, not that much neighbors, privacy, not a huge issue I would say, but because they don't have that many people, but still, I would like to see it better than this. From 2026, yeah, not that much change yet. Looks pretty nice, pretty decent. It's Alabama on the countryside, I guess. I don't know, if you don't get murder there, it's a win-win situation. Let's see it here, how they look. In the middle of nowhere. Ooh, that's a house. That's an abandoned house. At some point, probably was nice. Roads. Okay, pretty good. I mean, look at this. Even here in the middle of nowhere, they genuinely have, even in those, let's say, poor state by the, statistics, um, they're doing pretty well. I mean, does not look bad at all, for God's sake. And not that much people running here, as you can see, but it's clean. I mean, I have like a little bit of trash here, but nothing huge. And they cut the grass here, as you can see, so they maintain it very well. Nothing to, and this is the middle of nowhere, by the way, so yeah. I mean, we call it the middle of nowhere, but you don't drive, let's say, that much until you're gonna find some settlement or at least some population, some small town. Here, this is March 2023. Yeah, the road needs some repairs here, but it's, I mean, look at this. And I don't know exactly what's happening here, some sort of construction, I don't know, or a junkyard. That trash there didn't look so well, I have to say. This is some farmer equipment for sure. This one from February 2026. Oh, they repaved it, so I guess they already fixed that road. Now it looks impeccable. As you can see, they're doing pretty well here. Not that many houses, but when they have it, yeah, it's pretty decent. Oh, that's a nice Kia. Again, if you have some sort of a good universal income, things is gonna change radical is gonna change. Then we're gonna see which one actually has a better lifestyle, because now it's gonna be determined by the money, determined about how those people are actually doing, the creativity, the lifestyle that they want to have in their neighborhood and in their house, in their yards, when money is not a problem. And then it's gonna be a huge change. Then we're gonna see the full potential, I would say, of humankind. That's a nice truck there, but not truck. It's pretty much an SUV with a band in the back, with an open trunk. That's supposed to be exactly. It's not exactly a truck when you have a double cabin. It's an SUV with an open boot, open trunk. That's for sure. That's how you're supposed to call them. Yeah, again, I want to go here in the middle of nowhere. Let's see how they're doing in the road department. Yeah, small problem each and there, but yeah, nothing to complain that much. It does look pretty good, and this is March 2024. Who knows, maybe they fix it by now. I mean, yeah. And it's, again, Alabama, middle of nowhere. So I'm not sure which one is the worst state or has like the worst reputation, let's say, to travel on those empty roads in the night. Which one is the state is going to have like a much higher murder rate. But I don't know. I imagine Alabama is going to be pretty close to the top. But I could be wrong again. It's basic at what we're seeing in the movies. In a pop culture, Those cables, again, the same problem that I have. Although housing, a bit close to each other, but not a huge deal. Again, after I saw that how those rich people living in that region in South Carolina, kind of give me hope even for those properties, because if you make them nicer with a lot of vegetation, that's a nice Volvo. And that's even a better car here. Okay, it's a classic American, I would say. I don't even know what the fuck that even is. It's a Chevy. It's a Cadillac. Ooh, it's pretty good. Yeah, after we see that how those rich people manage to live in that such a small plate, yeah, I'm not sure if we're gonna put a car right there in full display in the front of the house. That looks amazing. It looks horrible. Look at this Corvette. That's amazing. And this Jaguar. No, we should scrap that. Yeah, after we see how those rich manage so well that small land there, I have high hopes pretty much for almost everything. I mean, like, these guys can do way better than this for sure. I'm not sure exactly what is the climate here, but it's going closer to the Gulf, so I'm gonna assume that it's gonna be much warmer. And the vegetations, I would say, I would expect it to be much more tropical, let's say, as we saw in South Carolina. But I guess it's a slightly different climate than we see there. Still have a lot of pine trees here, which is pretty good. Yeah, overall, I have to say, the only disappointment that I have is like the government and how old people run the state, unfortunately, and that documentary that we saw in Alabama prisons, that chips away. But otherwise, oh, that's a really strange way to put a city, more like European, looks like. Other than that, I must say, they're looking pretty good in Alabama. I don't think they have that much drawbacks, let's say, from that household middle income that they tend to calculate it like that. Oh, that's a really nice house here. Yeah. Like I said, well, look about those cars. Like this car is probably like $80,000 or something like that, and the median householding is like 60 something, 70 maybe by now. Pretty much insane. So yeah, like I say, those numbers are interesting to have something to judge, but they don't reflect the reality. And this guy has a Mercedes here. I don't think it's a C class or an E class, but still, I think it's an E class. I mean, they're doing pretty well. Mercedes in Alabama. I know the Mercedes like nice brand recognition and all of that, but they kind of falls apart very quickly in the last few years, let's say, in these desirable cars. Let's call it like that. That's pretty nice too. I mean, look at this. Now, if they didn't have those cables, it's gonna look already 10 times better because they have a more vegetation than the average, and you see the difference immediately. The roads looks pretty good. Distance between the house, yeah, not that huge. Wow, this is a Nissan Z350, I think. It's pretty rare to see them in the real anymore because they have like huge 3.5 V6 engines. They're gonna tax the shit out of them here in Europe, so you barely even see them. Yeah, overall, I have to say they look pretty good. Oh, look, it's a Volkswagen bus. Wow, I don't like this garbage here, but that bus looks pretty clean. Here the same. Okay, how many cars they have? They should have something like I say that put the cars behind the house so you don't see them. That's also is gonna improve a lot. This small vegetation, it should be much bigger here and improve with more trees here and there, and it's gonna radically change how it looks. Yeah, vegetation, it's absolutely great for temperature control, humidity, privacy, lowering your electricity bill, heating bill also. You can do that too if you use the proper vegetation and the proper location. But yeah, overall, it's nice. I mean, so far, I'm gonna be honest. Usually happens like that. You go in some those days with high expectation, you kind of get disappointed. You go in those otherwise with like low expectation, and it kind of impress you. It could be the same thing here in Alabama. Oh, they have a palm tree here. That's pretty nice. I mean, right there, it could be California, right? almost. California vibe. The same sterile front lawns, and they keep their cars on the front lawn. That's insane. When they have, I mean, I will put an alley and park the car behind the house so we can see it. And then let this all clean here and put more trees so you can actually have privacy there. That's gonna look much better. Way better, I would say. But again, maybe it's just me. I'm gonna say Alabama looks pretty good. Probably they have some really stupid rules here that they're just trying to put in prison for everything, which is kind of sad. And then we're gonna use, then we're gonna enter the prison. You're gonna pretty much get murder or used as a slave labor. I think even they know like the worst thing you can do here is in Alabama is to go to prison. It's better to have like a federal charge to go to the federal prison than the state prison in Alabama, which that's how bad it is there. This is how low they get. And they're like 5 million people. I mean, like, as a governor there, for example, not this one, that's way too old to understand anything that working in this world, have 5 million people and not that many people, and it's pretty big state, and it looks pretty good also. Treat people that go in a prison for pretty much anything, that's another problem. Like that, it's insane. I mean, that just tells everything about the politics in here, the governor, everything that the people even here. Because if you treat that bad people, those people that, judging by the human law, let's say, you're not, let's say, required usually to treat them good. But if you treat them even worse than that bad, that tells everything you need to know about those people here. Usually, yeah, when you treat people better than they say you're supposed to be, in a way, because, you know, like they did some major crime or whatever, but you still treat them well, that tells you a lot about those people in those states. Just shows that they're genuinely better than the guy that goes to prison, because even in a prison they treat them very well. But the fact that it's exactly the opposite here, Yeah, it's a huge dent in. They say they're much welcome, and very friendly people here in friendly, not sure exactly friendly, but much more, let's say, warm to the guest, the South hospitality. But then we go to prison. You see those news from the prison, and it just kind of chips away. I mean, like somebody who treats someone that go to prison that bad can't be that good of a person. Let's face it. It's just no. It just yeah, that guy goes in prison. I don't know, for murder, for whatever he done. It's fucked up too. But you need to show that you are better than them by treat them well. Yeah, but unfortunately, in Alabama, they still have maybe the next generation. Yeah, those new generation that we see um, men, from humans, tend to do better in those situations, I would say. So yeah, that's gonna be that's pretty fucked up here. That's Tweety. That's the Tweety the bird. So yeah, the next generation is gonna do probably much better than the old one. I mean, like you have like 80 years old governor, for God's sake. You're not gonna see that much change when you vote for those old people. And it's kind of shame because it looks pretty good in Alabama, I have to say. The climate probably it's pretty good. The landscape pretty nice. Yeah, they have some rough areas, but not that bad. Definitely not West Virginia for sure. They have that. The only problem that I see that with the prison system, the police most likely is gonna be problems here. But yeah, other than that, so far, and probably job market also. But that's kind of like a world problem. And not even a state problem, or not even a country problem. That's a world problem right now. That big it is. Oh, that's a nice palm trees here. So yeah, I think they're gonna get close to genuinely get rid of those bad labors. If they change the government with like much younger one. I don't even care which party it is, to be honest. At some point, someone that old, no way, should never have any position in any government or any position of power, even in the private area. Should not, probably not even in the private. If you're not the owner of the company, they're not gonna let you go on a board or anything like that. And even then, probably you step down at that age. I mean, even the private understand that someone that old cannot take good decision no matter what. And can you imagine, like, this is the governor. You have judges, you have all those like really old people that should not have any business there. And unfortunately, we still have those. That's gonna change for sure. But it's sad, like you need to lose that many people, that many generations, to bring the change. That's the sad part. Otherwise, I might say Alabama, it does not look bad at all. It's just they have a bad reputation more than how actually it looks, that's for sure. Because it looks pretty good. And keep in mind, like 5 million people in here. Yeah, they're going more on the Hispanic side so far. That's gonna be interesting to watch how that's gonna play. But I'm gonna be honest, it looks pretty good. We will see how this changing in demographic is gonna actually change. Yeah, you can have like a lower white population, not a majority anymore. You have like 25-30% of the population being white, still is going to stay in charge most likely, because they clearly demonstrate that we're doing things better than others overall. Just look at the other countries with their different demographics, and you're going to see, you already see why they're doing better by having that much migration inside the US. That's a really nice E-class there. So that tells you everything about them. It's just, you don't see people rushing out to Mexico and South American countries, but you see people rushing out from those countries to US. So clearly that shows which one is doing better than the other. So far, yeah, I have to say in Alabama, in those states with a bad reputation, oh, that's a huge junkyard there. With a bad reputation, I would say it's more labor here than on the label, the bad reputation, than actually looks on the state level. It does look pretty good, I must say. Yeah, the problem is gonna be the same. Besides the police and judges and government and all of that, what you do here. I mean, like, you got born here and you have an opportunity to move pretty much wherever you want in the country. And I start to understand even more and more. Now we're getting closer to the West Coast, but I understand it even more now that why people choose to California and Los Angeles. It provides a much more alert, or big cities, a much more alert lifestyle for the younger people. It's working pretty well. That yes, with time they get older, probably they're gonna go back home in those nice quieter places, but we're gonna see that in the future. So I understand that here, yeah, it's not that much opportunities, I would say. Also, even if you have like a really good basic income, when you are young, you're still gonna want to go to the migrate, let's say, to those high intensity area, I would say, when a lot of things happen very fast. Because you're young, it kind of fits your purpose, let's say like that. But yeah, probably after 30, 40, even 50, you want to settle down, you just want to take things slowly, you're gonna go back to the countryside for sure. So that's probably is gonna play in the future. We're gonna have people like going in the cities, in those big ones at the beginning of their lives, and then slowly migrate to the back to the countryside, which is good. I think it's pretty good. Wow, that's a really nice tree here. Look at how nice it is. What is the capital of Alabama? Capital, it's Montgomery, and the largest city, it's Huntsville. Wow, I think we are in Huntsville here, right? No, we are in Mobile. I'm not sure exactly where that is. But probably it's closer to the main city. I don't know. But it looks pretty nice. I mean, yeah, the land not so big here, a bit jamming one together, but it kind of works in the same time a bit in a strange way, you know? Wow, that's an orange car. It's a Pontiac. What is that? It's a really orange car there. And have a BMW 5 Series here. It's an E60, I think. They're doing pretty well. They're doing, see, a lot of vegetation with those nice trees that they have here in the Sound. How nice it looks. How nice it looks. Look at the vegetation. How nice. Oh, they have a gay flag in Alabama. Wow, walking on thin ice here, but fine. Look at this. See, the roads, it doesn't get hot. It doesn't radiate the heat back at night. So again, you have like low AC. Maybe you don't even use that much AC if you have like a really nice. See, if you have all the roof cover with those trees, with the shade of the trees, the house is not gonna get that hot, and you're gonna use maybe AC, but way less than supposed to. Let's call it like that. Here is probably one of those industrial areas, so not that many people actually live here. They have some houses here and there, but yeah, probably most likely businesses and stuff like that. Pretty huge, and the roads, again, absolutely great. Have some sort of a port there. I'm not that interested in that, to be honest. This one, it looks more of the rich area for sure. Look at the trees, look at the land. Spaces between the houses, not much, so not exactly a rich area, but a middle income for sure, I would say. Wow, this one is like in Austria or something, or Switzerland. Not that much privacy, I would say, but it's still looking green, looking pretty nice. I mean, we see definitely much worse than this, and this one, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I want to go on the beach. Let's see, what is the state limit? And I want to go outside that, so I want to check this one. Probably gonna have some rich people each and there. Whoa, what the fuck is going on in here? Oh, those houses that probably they again rented for the people. Wow, look how many cars, my god. I mean, like, again, it's a big money. It's a, yeah, big business with those renting properties on the front beach, and they have pools and everything that you want, but still not a big fan. And I think they have some hurricanes here too, so I'm not sure exactly how this is gonna play that close to the beach, the ocean, to the Gulf, but still. In the second plan here, probably, yeah, even better. I'm not sure if they have crocodile here. I mean, like, it could be, right? They could have some crocodiles here. It's Alabama. It's not Florida, but I think they have a few here too. Louisiana for sure they're gonna have it, but I don't know. It could be here too. Yeah, it's close to Florida. If they have in Louisiana, they don't have that much opening to the Gulf, so not sure about that, but Yeah, they're doing pretty well. Ooh, look at this island, and they put a lot of population, the rich ones probably, huh? Let's see them. Yeah, much more privacy, I would say. Not exactly rich, but yeah, no, not rich population, but they have like a pretty decent houses. Privacy, not the greatest, I would say, but still pretty decent. Look at those houses here. Again, one of those from renting. They don't even have like, yeah, it's definitely a gated community here, so not exactly easy access. Clearly, I would say, oh, look at those. Those definitely are from renting. They just show it from the inside. And they're looking pretty good, I have to say. They have a pool there that's seen better days for sure. Yeah, that's in better days. Not exactly a great idea to make those 360 when the pool looks like that, but you can give it an idea. If you really want to rent one of those houses, let's say for a weekend, that's pretty good. Find like 8-10 friends and do it. Maybe the cost is not that high. It's pretty good. Again, definitely way different lifestyles on the coastline than the main, let's say, inside the state, the average guy, average Joe there. But the houses are pretty strange. I mean, like they put them on those poles because probably they have a lot of water. They just go there in the hurricane season. I'm not sure, just to protect them, or maybe that's how the local architecture remain after a while. But yeah, still way too close to each other. Not exactly that much privacy. Not one tree here. Probably it's like fully sand soil, so it's not gonna be easy to grow anything here. But yeah, not that appealing to me, I would say. But still looking pretty good. I mean, like coastline, life on the coastline in Alabama, in Sweet Home Alabama, not so bad. I'm gonna be honest. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. If they fix the politics with much younger people and the prison system and the police, man, they could go on exactly on the opposite from the perceive as the worst, one of the worst, to perceive as one of the best. Whoa, something bad happened there for sure. Yeah, I mean, like expensive Toyota here, I would say, but not that great of the house. So you can see with a person like that, they just say that we have basic income of $5,000 per month easy, and you have to spend all the money. That's another. How gonna be interesting rule? Oh, look how much junk these guys have here. That'll be an interesting rule that you have to spend the basic income of the government. You can invest it if you want to get more, fine, but if you don't spend it by the end of the month, you're just gonna pretty much get back cancelled. So they actually force you to spend the money to improve your life. That would be interesting to see how everyone is gonna do it. I assume that the economy is doing very well if you have the production to sustain it, and I don't think you're gonna have that much complaints about everything with those people. To be honest, it just looks pretty good. They have some crab cages here. I'm not sure what they. I think Alabama they kind of go in those crab or shrimp. I don't know what they fishing there, but I think they have like a pretty decent industry there for like crab fishing and shrimp industries. The shrimp boat looking pretty good. Yeah, like I say, what I like about those states that they are perceived, let's say, and sometimes very just for as bad state, or like stay away from there, or at least stay away from those rough areas, or they just go there and they don't stay that much. They're gonna get you with something at some point. I think those states usually, if they have a major change in the politics, at least they're gonna bounce back so quickly, much faster than the other ones that they're on a higher level. Let's say perceived, let's say at a higher level. Wow, that's a really nice Lexus there. But yeah, the problem, like I say, when you have like an 8-year one governor, that don't expect much. I don't care if he's a Republican. I don't care. Just by the age and the person, that tells you everything. You know, when is the last time when you see an 8 years old understanding something about the modern world and not complaining about pretty much everything? And if you let those people in power to shape the world, the state in this case, with their vision, as a young people, you're not gonna like it. So they're gonna try to move away as fast as possible. And you can see the population is gonna start going down. I'm gonna be surprised if like the next census, whatever they call it, in 2030, because we see down, I don't know exactly what is the percentage there, but I think we see it. So from 2000, 10% population plus, then 2010, 7.5%, 2020, 5.1, 2025, 5 years later, 3.4, almost in half, almost, not quite. So I'm not going to be surprised if you have like an extremely low increase in population in 2030, or even going on the minus for the first time, I think. I don't think they have one on the minus. They have a pretty close one, and then they bounce back. I don't think they have on the minus. So we're going to have to deal with the idea that they're going to be the first time losing people. So probably that's going to have a change in politics also, and hopefully how people vote the first time, and second though, how they treat those people, especially that they don't have to treat them well. That's going to be a change, a huge change, hopefully. And then we're gonna see it. Okay, now start doing pretty well in Alabama, and by 2050, gonna see it get rid of this labor and actually improve life for everyone. And don't put that many people in prison either for any stupid reason. And limit the power of the police for sure, because they run wild with that. Not just in Alabama, just pretty much everywhere in America and also in the world. I have to say, they run wild with that. And if you put people in politics with that vision, you're not going to change that much. So you have to, that's probably the only thing that's pretty decent about California. Unfortunately, they go into the other extreme with this one, and doesn't look that well either. So you need to have like a much better balance. But yeah, in Alabama, I'm not sure exactly how fast that's going to change, but we will see it once the population start go down. Also keep in mind the white population goes down faster than anyone else, especially in percentage. And when they're going to see the populations going down now every year pretty much, and you're going to see the faster going down in demographic is the white population. Others huge changes going to occur, but we will see how well they're doing after 2050. Probably by 2050 it could be a really good year for everyone in Alabama, but we will see how they're gonna run the state after 2050, when the whites gonna probably gonna still remain a majority from the other groups, but much weaker, let's say. Clearly not a majority by population in the state for sure. They're already losing that. But yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see how things change when that happened. If they change and how much. Because like I said, they can still have like a 25% white population in the states and still have a decision taken by the whites, which is usually a pretty good idea, especially if you go with like the new generations. Also, you're gonna have some other demographic in the government for sure. It's not gonna be 100% white, but we will see how that is gonna change. Also, keep in mind the population generation change, and also become with new ideas. We will see which one they're gonna choose, because I don't think even they see this new right rising. It's kind of fading in my opinion. I'm on the right side no matter what. More like a classic liberal, the one that wants the smallest government possible. But yeah, we're gonna see how those this new right that they have now, pretty much in entire the world, Europe and US also, it's kind of fading in a way. They promise a lot, they didn't deliver pretty much nothing, and that's my opinion. Why is that? Because they're still using those fake, I would say, not exactly fully understanding on the right side, old people, and that doesn't give them a really good, let's say, oh, that's pretty nice here, footprint, I would call it, from the what means to be on the right and modern right. So yeah, that is going to change with the new population, new generation of right wingers, I would say. And but not this one that you see them on the TV on YouTube. No, that's something I don't even know what the fuck that even means, to be honest. At some point they start pretty decent, and now they have, you can see them, especially those broadcasted on podcasted, again, Ukrainian flag here for whatever reason. it's just kind of they are all over the place. It's just sometimes they just talk and I have no idea what the fuck they're talking about, to be honest. It's pretty nice garden here. I mean, look at this. I don't like this rubber or whatever plastic, whatever they put there. This one way better, as you can see, than this one. Probably they're gonna take it at some point. I don't know, but looks nice. That's a really nice. See how nice it is, and they have shadow here. The grass still growing. Um, that looks really nice. A bit more vegetation, I would say, but even that, like here, it's way better than. I mean, look at this. The difference between this guy and his neighbor, which is pretty close. See? And this one, it's even worse. But this one, I understand it. The powers of the nature, of the trees. And even here, look at this. They have the shade on the road. If this guy has the same here, this part here is going to be fully shaded. And you're not going to have that much heat radiated back, especially in the night. And also, they're going to keep the neighborhood, I would say, cooler if you have that much. And you can use the AC less, especially if you have like solar panels or something like that, or windmill, whatever you have there. Put it obviously in a good position, not on the house. I don't understand it. Like put them on the garage or something like that, that actually expose a bit to the sun so I can actually harvest some energy and use exactly that energy for the AC and everything that you need in a house, and you are pretty good. Yeah, pretty well. Otherwise, yeah, it's gonna be like a saddleback, I would say, if you use. Oh, that's a nice F-150 there, but not a truck, an SUV with an open trunk. Otherwise, if you, let's say, use that AC too much, just because you want to cool the house, obviously, you can have the same effect of cooling from the nature. You spend much more money on the electricity, even though you have solar panels on the house. It's kind of a push in a way, you know. Use more energy because you have more sun. You have less sun, you have less energy, but you're also using less, and you have a much more pleasant environment in the end. So yeah, that's a much better. And also you don't use that AC that much, so you don't have to wear them that fast. So it's gonna last longer. That's a nice Christmas there. Yeah, I think it's a much better bet like that. But we will see. We will see which one is gonna go. They have those new technology when they make those solar panels that they using the radiated heat from the environment, even from the panel itself, to generate heat. Not that much so far, but in the future it's gonna get better and better for sure. So yeah, overall I have to say, wow, that's a lot of cars here, a lot of junk stuff. Alabama does not look that bad, that's for sure. Alabama does not look that bad, although again, if you're getting here, getting born here as a young person, I understand why, especially in this environment right now in the politics, why you want to go out and at least explore what else is out there. I understand that for sure, but overall, it's not bad looking as a state for sure, not at all. Ooh, that's a Porsche. What is that? There's some really rich people here, for God's sake. Oh, yeah. I think we finished the video here. I don't think we make it that much longer. Overall, I like it, I have to say. Landscape-wise, looking pretty nice. Climate, also not so bad. I think we have at some point some data. Again, the governors. Oh, look at this. The temperature that they have here. I have to go for the degrees. I don't understand those Fahrenheit ones. Celsius, not Fahrenheit. So average, low. They have some really cold cities, let's say, by their standards, but they're not that hot, as you can see. 31, 32. The average height, obviously, 33, 33. It's manageable, I would say. It's manageable. And they have like in those May, June, July, August, and September. Then it's gonna go down pretty nicely. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good overall. Not a bad climate at all there. So yeah, I think that's the video. I don't think I'm gonna make it much longer than this. They're doing pretty well overall in this state. Yeah, the problem that we mentioned with like government, judges, police, all of that. You kind of spread it pretty much on the federal level, but here in Alabama, it's particularly a problem for sure. So yeah, that's the sad part, I think, about this state. Otherwise, they're looking pretty good. I mean, overall, it's not bad. How nice green they have here. Problem with the privacy, but that's pretty common. Yeah, and the speed limit, look at this, 20 miles an hour. I mean, fuck off. It's be at least 40 here, at least 40. Look how nice the roads are. So yeah, infrastructure looking very well. Landscape wise, how those people live, pretty good. This part here, closer to the Gulf, a way different lifestyle, let's say, than you're gonna find, I don't know, here, let's say. Just go, like I said, randomly on the map. Yeah, it's way different. They have some weird garbage here that I don't like. It's clearly a very low income area here, but or it's like a trailer park here. I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of a trailer park, kind of trailer park. Yeah, overall it's different. It's different for sure. Oh, bars on the windows. That's a problem. And look at this Malibu. I think Impala. Oh, the Chevy Impala there for sure. Clearly a low income area, but even here you can see the roads still look pretty good. And there are abandoned houses here also. So people just move, just leave. They want to go back. They just didn't look. They didn't look back. Bars on the windows, a liquor store, whatever that is. And this is what, 2022 October. Bars on the windows again. Clearly a rough area here, for God's sake. See, a way different lifestyle here in the town. That's a Volvo? I don't think so. It looks pretty close to that. Look at these border windows and doors. That'll be interesting to see if they give those people like 5,000 a month. Where are they gonna put that money? That's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be an experiment at some point. It's gonna get reality at some point, but we will see. That's way too many things. Probably they sell it. I don't know. But it's way too many things in that small of the yard, and the lands here, it's also very, very tiny. This one, it could look better. And that's a extremely small house. And barbed wires we have. Whoa, didn't see that so often in US. So yeah, I think we see enough of Alabama. Overall looks pretty decent. Some rough area each and there, but overall, pretty. Oh, the beach here is pretty nice. We have some pictures. That's nice. I mean, yeah, in those pictures, obviously you're gonna put only the good parts. That's the way it is. Ooh, I like those houses here on the lakes. Looks pretty good. Yeah, overall, like I say, they have that political issues, which kind of ruined it for everybody in the same time. But pretty soon they're gonna, I think, at least I hope, it's gonna change that too. And Alabama is gonna be at full potential, not how it is today. So yeah, that was the state of Alabama. If you live here, just leave a comment, say how things are, and check the other videos that I make, and see you next time.